because then they're equipped to go to their editor and say, well, I think we should write this, and it's because of this reason. They're going to pass that off as research that they did themselves. So if you're able to give them that ammunition, it's going to be a lot more helpful. You also want to provide the sources for them. You know, reporters are really busy, and if you give them the phone numbers, if you say, well, for this story, you can call so-and-so at the local Skeptics group, you can call so-and-so at the JREF, you can call so-and-so at the local college, the reporter's going to see that and go, well, you know, this is half done for me. Maybe I will do this story. The unfortunate truth, though, is that sometimes none of that works. It is hard to get through to the existing media and to get them to cover what you want. So sometimes we have to become the media. And this is a phrase that I'm stealing from a great thinker that hasn't been mentioned yet at this particular conference for some reason, and that is Jello Biafra, a punk prophet and former lead singer of the Dead Kennedys. Jello is currently one of the spokespeople for the anti-globalization movement, which are the people who show up in Seattle and in the World Trade Organization meetings around the world. And this is a movement that's done a great job getting press attention for themselves and also creating their own media and getting their own voice out there. And this is from a speech that Jello gave. I think it was actually at the Seattle protests back in '99 where there was a lot of riots. And the idea is just basically that all these new technologies are providing us with the tools to do it ourselves. We don't have to rely on the local news channel to produce TV stories for us. We can get our camcorder, we can shoot the story, we can go home, we can edit it on our PC, we can publish it on the internet, and people can download it themselves. And actually, you have the ability to reach a lot more people that way because your local TV channel is only going to reach your city. Anybody in the world can download your story from the web. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but I think the key is to find your particular expertise. A good example is Phil Plait. You know, he knows a lot about astronomy, so he starts his own website and becomes a great source for debunking bad astronomy. Whatever you know about, you have an avenue there to talk about that and to make a website. The great thing about the web is that it's very niche-y. There's a place for everybody, no matter what it is that you know about. And it's not hard. It's fairly easy to set up a website. Most of the major web hosts like Yahoo and MSN will give you real basic. They'll run you through it and set up the website for you. It's not going to be very fancy, but it's a good place to start. There's plenty of cheap design software or free software. One I like is just Netscape Composer. If you download Netscape, you're going to get a cheap, a free and easy tool that's going to allow you to build a website. And then finally, there's always blogging, which is a relatively new phenomenon. It's been pretty big in the last couple of years. Blog is short for weblog, and it's basically, it's an online diary. Every day, you're going to post something, a little bit of information on whatever your topic is. A lot of people just use it for a diary, say, well, this is what I did today. But it's also, maybe you're covering a topic, and every day you're going to post a story and say, this was a bad bit of physics I read in the media today, or this is an interesting news story that I want to share with people. There's all kinds of things out there in the blogosphere. There's blogs that are just links of funny and cool links. There are technology blogs like Slashdot. There are blogs written by famous columnists, humorists, like Dave Barry has his own blog. There's blogs about cities and locations. Gothamist is a great blog just about New York City and about events there. And there are science and skepticism blogs, and here's my shameless plug for droppyscience.com. It's easy to do. This is movable type, which is one of the more popular tools out there. And all it is just a web interface. You go to an address, and it gives you this web page. You click on a place to make a new entry. It's all web-driven. You don't have to be a programmer. This is how you put in an entry. Type in the title. Type in the body of what you want that particular day's entry to say. It's going to publish it for you. All you do is fill in the blanks. And this is what, this is just kind of a boilerplate of what it's going to look like every day, a little entry. And the more you know about the technology, the deeper you want to get into it, you can customize it and make it look like anything. But the point is, if you don't know anything, boom, it made a web page for you. It's going to do all the work. And this is why this is a really popular and powerful tool. What you need to do to be the blog is get one of these tools. One popular one is LiveJournal. This is a free service. It's very basic. It's used by a lot of teenagers, use it just to publish like their own diaries. It's simple, but it's free. Movable Type is the one I just showed you. It's software you can set up and run on your own and drive your own site that way. You can also go to Movable Type, and they'll host it for you. So it's another thing where you just log in. You'll have to pay them $5 a month, which is really nothing. But they'll host it for you. They'll set up the site for you. Blogger is also popular. Blogger's got the same pay them $5 thing. You can also get a free version of Blogger. What they do is put an ad on your site, and that's how it pays for it. But you can get through free. Now, not everybody is interested in the web, and not everybody even, maybe they don't want to get online, or maybe they're just too intimidated by the technology. And so there still is old media. And there's great ways and great things you can do to get attention that way. One is, tragically overlooked, I think, is radio. And it's far easier than you would think to get your own radio show, especially if you go to your local college radio station, your indie radio station, public radio. And most of these places will train you. If you go to the local college radio station and say, my skeptic group wants to do an hour a week, we want to have our own radio show, they will sit you down, they will take you through classes, they will teach you how to run the board, or they will provide an engineer to do it for you, because they want content, they want to fill up those hours. So they'll do the work for you again, and it's not going to cost you anything. Public access television, the same deal. They'll train you, they'll do it all for you, and you can get up and they'll provide the cameras, they provide all the tools, all the hardware, and you can get up and going. And finally, there's plenty of other things, community theater, make your own magazines, put posters up around, all of which are good and effective ways of reaching people that are much easier than you would think to get up and running. But basically, the point is to let your voice be heard. It's phenomenal that everybody shows up for this meeting and that we're able to talk to each other and educate each other and help define our own visions. But I don't know how much we actually achieve until we're able to get this message out to the people who can't make it to the meeting, or that don't have the education that we have, or that don't have access to the same sources of information that we have. So what is critically important that everybody goes out and preaches, and that gets their own website and shares this information and gets the message out there. Now, I've kind of buzzed through this stuff, and some of it's complicated, particularly the building the website stuff. So this is my email. If you have questions, if you want to try to set up your own weblog, or if you've got a story you're pitching to your local news station, you want to run it by somebody and see if it's any good, you can send those to me. I'll take a look at it. I'll let you know what I think. Thank you.